6 consecutive days of dumpiness as Bitcoin still struggles right in between 30 and 40,000 US dollars. As the bulls lay soiled in their own filth, have the bears finished their massacre? But there's one thing in particular we can look to right now to decide if the short-term dumpiness has ceased. And with tension in the stock market and the DXY, tomorrow is more important than anything that happens today. How much more pounding can the bulls take? And when will the bulls bust? I'm your host, Brendan Bustalot, and this is extremely big. Over the last 5 or 6 days, Bitcoin has been on a little bit of a downtrend, and over the last 48 hours in particular, this weekend price action has been some of the most tame, boring price action you could ever imagine. But let's be honest, folks, over the last 6 days, while bears have maintained the pressure to the dumpy side, these price rejections, these price drops have not been very quick, significant, or too jaw-dropping to begin with. So how will we know when the bears are out of momentum and the bulls can make their retaliatory move to the upside? We're going to be talking about that because there is one chart in particular that definitely gives all the juice that you could ever imagine. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, absolutely time-sensitive alerts. And without any further magoo, let's get dumped on. Woo! So we can start the video here, guys, with the DXY having an absolutely rumpalicious end of the week last week, and this is really important. So today we're going to be getting a weekly candle close in about 6 hours from now. But again, I personally don't think too much is that important until tomorrow. Once we see the stock market open, we see the DXY start trading again. Once we get back into weekday price action, overall, this weekend price action was not super interesting. To be honest, it was incredibly boring. We had a little bit of a dumpy move just hours ago, slightly below 34,000. Currently, we're still in that $34,000 range, but overall, nothing too drastic. Over a month now, or right around a month, we've been stuck in between 40 and 30,000 US dollars, with bears calling for 20K or less Bitcoin, and with bulls just hoping for an itsy-bitsy bounce. But as well, guys, if we go to the daily chart here with Bitcoin, we got a death cross. Okay, I mean, we've been talking about this for weeks. I think everybody on the planet's talking about it for weeks. I think everybody's tired of talking about it, but we got the cross. Again, short term doesn't really indicate too much. Maybe this has yet to be seen. What it can indicate, and not even 50% of the time historically, does it indicate a massive, long, drawn-out downtrend. But it is something to be watching. In my opinion, again, I don't think it's going to do much in the short term anyway. I think this is going to be incredibly insignificant for a couple weeks. Again, it could come into play later on, but we have to kind of take each day's price action one day at a time. But yeah, so far we are holding right at the same exact key level. These are the two same levels I've been talking about for like 2 or 3 weeks now. Kind of just the $36,000 to $37,000 range, and then the $33,000 to $34,000 range. So these are the two ranges we've been talking about over and over. And again, the bears were able to break through the first one right here and break through the 21-day moving average. And they have to perform here as well. They have to break this one as well. These are the last two levels, so they have one level to go. And if we set a new lower low, if we go below 31,000, that's pretty bearish. That's a pretty big bearish mode, let alone 30,000. Breaking up below 30,000 is ultra bearish, but we have yet to see that happen. At this very moment, 30,000 is still the bottom, or technically like 28,000. The price action of May 19th, still the bottom technically. But if we start making these lower lows, then that is pretty bearish. So we have kind of this range here, and we bounced twice right around 30,000 over the last month, and we had one that went a little bit below that. But again, if the bears are going to make their downside move, it has to happen pretty quick, because as soon as the momentum switches, guys, you know how crypto works. This is the daily chart. Okay, massive downside, bulls had a little bit of a move back to the upside, downside for a couple days, bulls had control, downside, bulls, bears, and if bears can't push it back here, obviously bulls are going to take over for probably a couple days. But as well, if we go to this 4-hour chart, we are going to be getting a bearish cross here with the 21 going below the 50 on the 6-hour chart. Sorry, yes, 6-hour chart. So that's something coming. We already on the 4-hour chart did have a bearish cross just a few hours ago, and not that long after that, we got a little bit more of a dumpy move below 36, and ultimately so far around 33.5 is where we bottomed, a little under 33,500 US dollars. But also, this is a key fettuccine level right here. Again, it'll be pretty big if we would breach below 31, but until we do that, again, nothing very significant. Realistically, guys, this price action has been not significant. I mean, bears are still pushing very, very, very slowly. It's been very slow watching this. Yesterday, I'm pretty sure the price was the exact same all day. But like I said, just a few hours ago, we had to move below 34 into the mid $33,000 range. But as well, what I mentioned at the beginning of what to look for in terms of this dump ending is just even on this 1 hourly chart, just breaking above both of these moving averages, which they have not been able to do since this downtrend started. So above 40K, when we tested all these for support, we were covering this like 2 days ago, actually like 3 or 4 days ago. And every time we come up to the 50, we get rejected. So the first test will be seeing if we can break back above 35,000. And if we can do that, breaking concretely above 35,500, then I personally think that this downside move is temporarily over and the bulls can start their push to the upside probably for a few days. If you guys notice, pretty much like I pointed out just a minute or two ago, when the bears have momentum, it usually lasts a few days, and same thing for the bulls. So it swings back and forth. And the last 6 days have been bears having the momentum. So it'll be really interesting to see if when we get this new week open up and we get weekly trading to see if the bears can maintain the momentum and if they can actually use that to push it below these levels, which we haven't done yet. So again, we're still kind of waiting in limbo. The bulls haven't been proven right and the bears haven't been proven right. Bulls have been saying this is a recovery for the last month and bears have been saying we're going to crash below 20K for the last month. Neither has happened, okay? So bulls aren't right, bears aren't right. Nothing yet. We're still waiting for a decision. So we just have to wait and see here. Go to the weekly chart. I mean, it's a kind of ugly looking engulfing candle. It started up around 40K and currently we're a couple $1,000s below that. Overall, yeah, the main thing I want to see is flipping back above 35.5 in the short term, and then I think we could maybe initiate another move to the upside. But so far, we're just getting a bounce right here. And the volume, again, the volume to the downside and to the upside has been rather weak. It has not been impressive for either parties here. We can look at the BTC shorts here on Bitfinex, all-time high, or really, really high just about a week ago. They're coming down a little bit here, but obviously people are still very much shorting Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance, we're about to get across here on the Bitcoin dominance. I don't know if that's really significant at all, but 45% for that. I haven't really looked at altcoins lately because, again, guys, when this type of market environment happens, where we get a massive drawdown, a lot of sideways accumulation or sideways trading, and Bitcoin getting their increase in dominance, then it's not very important to be looking at altcoins. Altcoins obviously get beaten down way more than the rest, or way more than Bitcoin. But yeah, DXY is going to be very important to watch as we open up this new week. I personally think we could still rally a little bit to the upside, but ultimately, do I think this is a long-term uptrend? No, absolutely not. No reason to think that, and I think most people would agree with that. People are obviously going to be switching their funds around a little bit as the stock market looks kind of iffy here. This is the stock market, or this is the SPX in general, or specifically, which does not look good. Broke below its 21 and 50. Last time it broke below its 21, it found support actually at its 50, and we already, I personally think we might open up this week above 50, but it'll be really hard to tell if we're going to be able to hold that, because that is a big test. And a lot of people have been calling for the stock market to crash for years now. But I personally think it might happen at some point. This is something we have to be very aware of. The stock market has been just incredibly bullish for a very, very, very long time. This was the crash back in March where Bitcoin got brought down with it. But it was a V-shaped recovery, okay? Massive crash, and then it basically just went back up, set new all-time highs by a lot. So is that sustainable? I personally don't think so. And how will that affect crypto and the rest of the economy in general? I think it will probably have big impacts on everything. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that like, subscribe, turn notifications, absolutely time-sensitive alerts. Make sure to get your hardware wallets, bonuses, trading, TA, learning TA below. Without any further ado, that's it for me. Bye-bye.